Take a look at achievements for Black Ops 4 Zombies, and you'll find a lot with completion percentages lower than the Marvel's box office. One that caught my 4 eyes was Checkpoint Zulu, which has a 0.08% completion rate. That's probably because you need to survive 20 rounds in Alpha Omega's security checkpoint spawn room. So, since I make YouTube videos and crave clout, I decided to hop into Alpha Omega and go for a quick victory. Oh boy, if only. By the way, I'm well aware that this can be done on casual difficulty, but Mama Zombie's dad jokes didn't raise no cream puff. If you want to see more challenge videos, go ahead and like and subscribe. This is the best way for me to know what you want to see more of, and it'll help me reach my goal for 2024 of getting monetized. Here we are at the security checkpoint spawn room on Alpha Omega, and everything the light touches is where we can move, as long as we don't go over the edge. Actually, it looks pretty shady here. Whatever, I'm not gonna need my SPF 85 plus for my pasty ass this time. This was my 5th attempt at the challenge, as my first 4 attempts the night before ended in failure, including the heartbreaking 4th attempt, which ended on round 19. I wanted to get another chance the night before, but it was my morning to wake up with my kids the next day, and my middle child is
fully armed and operational battle station.
After like 5 hours of sleep. But I had my John Mellencamp, Nelly, and Mr. Krabs AI cover of Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald pumping me up this time. Hey, I am a Midwesterner after all. Now, since I do live in the Midwest, I have to apologize about something. This time, it's that if you're motion sick or get dizzy easily, this video is probably gonna suck. The spawn room is tighter than the lyrics on my mixtape. It gives me indigestion to admit that I'm not running my beloved Strife, instead opting for the MOG 12. Seriously, I would have married the Strife if I hadn't married my wife earlier the year that Black Ops 4 came out, but I rationalized it as the MOG 12 being better, doing it to be in close range, and I don't have access to Alpha Omega's admittedly annoying pack-a-punch system, so I'm gonna need all the oomph I can get out of a gun. Also, the speed loader loads all 4 shots at once, which is awesome. Hey, at least it's not the Essex. Funny story, I spent about 5 minutes picking my perks in my first attempt before remembering it's a spawn room challenge, so I can't even use them. But for elixirs, I rolled with Dead of Nuclear Winter, Shields Up, Killjoy, and Equipment. In the early attempts, I was also using Power Keg instead of Equipment, so I could drop full powers for my specialist, but now after many failed attempts, I was down to 3, and I've got a mental thing where I can't use every copy of an elixir or gobblegum. You might be thinking, what am I gonna do if I get cornered without my specialist? The zombies will grope me harder than a professional Super Smash Bros. Player. Well, I have 2 options: get good or
get fucked.
So it was time to get sweaty. The first few rounds were no problem at all. I just used the good old stabby. The knife was reliable enough until about round 4, and I would have switched to my MOG 12 or Wraith Fires, but I got a clutch insta-kill and proceeded to continue my Thanksgiving feast on these fools. But after that, I'm not gonna risk thumb arthritis hitting me at age 30 instead of 40 from these damn video games. Round 5 was the first dog round of the game, and I got a little nervous. Not because I thought I was going to die, but because if you say anything negative about dogs on the internet, you are literally worse than Osama bin Laden. I spit some fire dad jokes and watched as the dogs ran to their deaths before flexing on BO3 fanboys by grabbing the max ammo without reload. I got a little sloppy with my training early on round 6 and had to go all SZA or Uma Thurman, depending on what generation you belong to, on these zombies. That's what the specialist is for on this challenge, as I learned from my repeated failures. You don't use it when you want it, you use it when you need it, like a rescue inhaler or a seatbelt. Well, always use your seatbelt actually, kids. That being said, I've always found the Ether specialists underwhelming compared to the Chaos ones. Seriously, would you rather use boring-ass flamethrowers and miniguns, or become Thor, complete with blasting fools with lightning? Can we talk about Wraith Fires for just a sec? I've heard that they were nerfed before, but my gosh, these things are insane even so. You throw one down and they kill an entire horde of zombies no matter what round you're at. The area of effect covers a large part of where I'm running around and lasts for a good amount of time. A big complaint I've heard about Black Ops 4 is that it's too easy, and honestly, I do somewhat agree that it is easy once you're set up, and a large reason might be because these grenades are so fucking good that I'd rather have them than any other grenade other than Ancient Evil's Pegasus Strike. I progressed through the rounds business as usual, circling the area at the back of the security checkpoint and avoiding going to the ramp aside from killing stragglers or if I was channeling my inner Quentin Tarantino. On round 12, I used my first Shields Up elixir in order to keep my ass from getting chewed on by these undead dudes. In retrospect, I don't think that the shield was entirely necessary, but there are moments where I would have probably panicked and activated my specialist instead. My MOG 12 was not too much of a factor character either, but honestly, it was handy to not have to use my equipment and wait for a recharge. It's funny watching the footage back and realizing I didn't even use Dead of Nuclear Winter this attempt, or Killjoy a single time in any of my attempts. Maybe Temporal Gift would have been more useful to extend insta-kills, but at the same time, you don't even need insta-kills because the Wraithfires are just so stupidly good. Now there I was, round 20, the final round before I get this achievement. I've been playing pretty well up to this point, but my pulse is still racing because I'm so close, and a down means that I have to start the whole thing over again. Granted, it's only about 30 minutes, but I'm a millennial and I love to over-exaggerate things. One more Wraithfire and it's done. Checkpoint Zulu completed and even flawless to boot. I'm fist pumping like Tiger Woods, heading over to my achievements to catch it on video and to create a Twitter profile for the sole purpose of showing it off to my 10 fans that I did it. I decided to keep playing and see how far I could go, just like a man who just nutted, and I took my first down in round 22 before finally being killed via death on round 24. What about you? What's the rarest achievement you've unlocked in this game or any other game? Go ahead and let me know, and if you want to see more challenges, here's a video of me using the Essex only to get to round 30 on 9.